Hello, this is Professor Gibson. We are working on a question today from Chapter 13 about computing the standard deviation. Let's see what it has to say for us here. Consider the following, list some numbers, some data values, compute the population standard deviation of the numbers. So there's two different formulas for the standard deviation. One when you want the standard deviation of a population, and the other one when you want it for a sample. All right, so we'll actually do both. We're going to do the population one first here. Round your answer to two decimal places. All right, we have the formula. It's for the standard deviation. It's kind of complicated, and I think more than complicated enough that it's much easier to use Excel. Or if you've got a graphing calculator that has this feature, that'll work too. So what I would recommend you do, go ahead and highlight the data, and then I've got an Excel worksheet open in the background here. So just paste the data into the Excel worksheet so you don't have to keep flipping back and forth between the two. Now then you're going to have to individually type the data values into cells. So I just go into A1, really you can go to any cell. Type a data value, hit enter. See it moves down, right? 6, enter, 12, enter, 3, enter, 15, enter, 10, enter, 14, enter. All right, so double check, make sure you typed them all in. Yep. Now, to get the standard deviation, in Excel, go to any open cell, any blank cell, type an equal sign to tell Excel a command is coming, and it's STDEV, that's the standard deviation. And then you have to pick whether you want the one for the population or the sample. And you'll notice the first two options here. The first one says .p, that's the one for the population. The second one says .s, that's the one for the sample. So I'm going to go ahead and type .p, right? And then I got to open a parenthesis, come up here and just highlight all the data values using my mouse, close the parenthesis, enter. Right? There is the standard deviation for the population. Now, if I wanted it for the sample, pretty much the same thing, just pick the one with the .s on the end. Equals STDEV, right? .s for sample, open parenthesis just like before. Highlight the data values, close parenthesis, right? That would be the one for the sample. Now, this question was asking for the population to nearest hundredth. That's going to be 4.28, all right? So the command was equals stdev dot p for population, open parenthesis. I put the data values in, right? And Excel told me the answer was 4.28. All right. Part B says double each of your original numbers and compute the standard deviation of this new population. Okay. So let's double each of them. Let's just type in double. So double 6 is 12, and then 24, 6, 30, 20, 28. All right, double check, make sure I doubled each of them. And then we're just going to do the same thing. Equals STDEV. We're still looking for a population. So it'll be .p for population. Open the parenthesis. Highlight the data values. Close parenthesis. You see that to two decimal places. Nearest hundredth, it's 8.56. That's exactly right. This is twice that. I'll show you. So come up here. Equals. Pick this data value. Divided by the original standard deviation we had. See, it's exactly 2. So what happened? Well, when we doubled all the data values, it doubled the standard deviation. All right. So what we did for this one equals stdev dot p. We put in the doubled data, right? And Excel tells us the answer is 8.56. Now, the last part of this question says use the results of part A in inductive reasoning to state what happened to the standard deviation of a population when each item is multiplied by positive constant k. So I left the A in there, I just copied it out. There's a little bit of a typo going on in the question in terms of the parts A, B, and C. Anyway, notice it doubled, right? When we doubled the data values, it doubled. And that's all they want you to do. They actually give you a multiple choice options underneath here. I didn't copy in this inductive reasoning thing. It says use inductive reasoning, right? Well, it doesn't really mean anything in this sentence because inductive reasoning is using a specific example, or maybe more than one specific example, to then generate a theory or an idea about the general pattern. All right. So all they're saying is, hey, from what you see here, what do you think? How do you think this works? What's the pattern? All right. So what it is, and it says, what's the pattern when each data value is multiplied by a positive constant k, right? So when we multiplied each one by 2, it doubled the standard deviation. So the reasonable thought is when we multiply each data value by k, it'll multiply the standard deviation by k, right? When data values are multiplied by a positive k, standard deviation also multiplied by a positive k. And you will see when you do this one in the homework that they give you like 4 multiple choice options or maybe 5, and one of them says this. All right. So that is it for this one. I hope you found that helpful.